Okay, hello everybody. In this tutorial, we will finish the series of OpenMDAO with the tutorial number 5 should be. And in this case, we will couple OpenFOAM with OpenMDAO. Okay, the case is pretty simple. We use the lead-driven cavity, which we can briefly see right now. Oops. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Yep. I made some update and it's not working. Okay, so we have the lead-driven cavity. This pretty common case, test case. In this case, the top surface moves at a certain velocity, which causes the fluid to flow in a recirculating way inside of it. And what we are doing, we are sampling with the probe, which I will show you where it is. So we have this probe, 0.5, 0.5, 0.005, which is in the middle of the of the cell, but it's yeah, this is not important since it's a two-dimensional case. So we're sampling 0.5, 0.5, 0.005, which is that's perfect, actually. Let's see if I can see it. Okay, I hope you can see it. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger. Okay, this is too big. But in any case, we are sampling here. Okay. And we want to minimize the pressure in this point by changing the top velocity. Okay. So to do this, okay, let's go back to the code. This is the code. Is divided into the run script. Okay, let me move here. Okay, the run script, which we learned a little bit to know in the previous tutorial. So, as usual, as we saw last time, we have an explicit component, which means that it explicitly gives a result without the need of calculating some terms implicitly. So there are no equation, I mean, right here, at least. So you give something and you have an output without, in an explicit way, okay? Then you define the problem. You do exactly as we did last time. So it's, remember the group. We add the design variable, which in this case, I call it x1, which is the top velocity, okay? We add an objective. We add the optimizer as we did last time, SLSQP. And we then set up the problem, set up the initial value to 0. I mean, at least here is 0. And then run the driver, okay? And check the partial. As an output, we get the optimal value of the velocity and the minimum optimal value of the objective function. Okay. So something which is different. Okay. So we have okay. Maybe this is not mandatory. We can check it out later. I can't remember right now. It's I did this tutorial some months ago. I can't remember actually, but nevertheless, we define, as we did last time, the setup, the input and the output. So the input is the velocity input, the output is the objective function, which we will measure, okay? And then we do something a little bit different with respect to the previous case, previous cases that we saw. In fact, if in the previous cases, the partial derivatives were explicitly defined, which is the most efficient way to estimate them, in this case, we evaluate them numerically. How? With the finite difference, central finite difference. Moreover, we can also change the step which we use to evaluate these differences. And yeah, let's say that the larger step might be less accurate, but help avoid local minima. So this is a trade-off which you should think about previously. Okay. Then after the setup, we have the compute, exactly as in the previous cases, and the output, which is put in objective, comes through this compute objective function, okay, which takes only an input, which is x1, okay? So this is pretty straightforward. The compute objective, as you see, comes from this external code. So I split up the code into different Python script to make it more readable and more customizable, I would say. So the second part is inside of this external code, Py. And if we go to the folder, okay, this is the folder where the project is contained. We have the run script, which we just went through, and the external code, okay? The external code is simply a wrapper around OpenFOAM. We use this code to run the simulation and to do the sampling, okay? So we have a path which takes us to the case to the OpenFOAM case, okay? So this is my laptop, and this is the folder which contains this project one, where we have the run script, external code, and so on, and cavity. Cavity is where we are keeping the OpenFOAM case. Okay, then we do a few steps. First of all, we remove all the time step and the post-processing folder. Okay, this is just for cleaning up the case because I don't have a all clean script right inside the code, which is my choice. But you can simply have the usual, all run and all clean, and then just call them. But yeah, in this case, I'm just removing the time step and the post-processing because each iteration is the case to be clean, okay? Then what are we doing? Okay, we are updating the velocity in OpenFOAM using FOAM dictionary. Actually, this was done with a previous version of OpenFOAM, I must be honest. So right now, FOAM dictionary doesn't work anymore, but there is a counterpart, a new version of FOAM dictionary to do this kind of stuff. But it's pretty the same. I mean, every new version changed these tools and commands, so it's not really important to focus on this, which maybe doesn't work with OpenFOAM 13, I guess, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so what does FOAM dictionary do? Okay, we go inside boundary field in U, okay, yep, and we modify this entry. We modify the entry. I mean, right now it's 0.5 because I already ran this case, but it will update to 0. So we can already change this like this, okay? So we're changing in, you see, moving wall, which is this, in value, which is this. We are updating to x1, which is the value which we are passing, okay? Through the run script. The other two are left constant to 0. And then okay, this is the command, and we run the command with subprocess run. Then we run ecofoam, okay? After that, we go inside the post-processing folder, we move there, which is post-processing probes 0. It's the name that we gave, okay? And we save the file of the post-processing inside this file, the pressure especially, and then we pass this file back. This actually not this file, we pass a single number, which is the last row, because ecofoam does 5 iteration, if I will recall, before stopping and being it converges. But anyway, we take the last iteration, and if in the first column we do have the time, in the second column the value of the pressure. So we take the last row and the second column, because it's 0 the first one and 1 the second one. Okay, so we return this to run script, which goes in objective, and the objective is then passed to the driver, okay, which does the handles the optimization. So this is, I guess, pretty straightforward, okay? So how to run this? Well, it's very easy. We just go to our shell or Visual Studio or whatever you want, where you have, I mean, you need, as in the previous cases, you need the environment with OpenMDAO installed on it. And in this case, I have it in my Conda installation, which is called PHP, okay? And then what we simply do is Python free run script, and then we can save the log of this in, for example, logopt. Okay, so we run this, and hopefully it works. Okay, yes, it's running. Okay, it's very fast. It's very fast because, I mean, the simulation, it's very, very fast by itself. So it's, yeah, that's why this fast. It might not be as fast as this. Okay, so as you see, in the previously we only had 0 constant and system. Now we have a lot of bunch of file. And I guess that if you remember, I changed the U, yes, to 0. And as you see now, it's 0.55468, which is this iteration here, or probably, or maybe the previous. Yeah, I guess the previous. Maybe here we have that value. Let's see. 54, 68. No, okay, it's the same. Okay, never mind. We change this. The value of this. Okay, so we know that this is the optimal velocity to have the minimum value of pressure. And if we go and look in the log file, okay, and I guess that it's cursor here. Let's see how does equal. I can't remember exactly how we call it. The optimization, maybe. No, this is last row. Maybe new value. Okay, new entry value. Yep. Okay. Okay. In the first, okay, we have 0. Let's see how many iterations it does take. I mean, we can see it here actually, 5. But let's go. Okay, 0, 0, 1 to the power of -6. Why this value? Because it's the value that it's the step that he uses by default to evaluate the derivative. So it needs to evaluate the derivative, as I said, right? So it will calculate, sorry, this. Then let's go on. 1, -1. Okay, why 1 and -1? Because I'm evaluating the derivative with the central derivative, which means taking one step ahead, one step behind, and then calculating the derivative with those. Okay, and then after you calculate the derivative, it does the first iteration of velocity. Okay, this is the first guess. I mean, not the first guess, the second step after the first initial guess. Then what does it do? It does one step ahead, as you see, 53, 54, and then 52. Why? Because every iteration, it needs to evaluate the gradient, okay? Every step of optimization, the solver, I mean, OpenMDAO, in this case, not the solver, the optimizer, evaluates the gradient to calculate the next step. And then it does this. Then probably we will have 54 and 52 again. 54 and 52. And then the next one. 54, 52. And then, okay, it's always end with this, but 68 and 66. Okay, and then it goes ahead. Keeps iterating until it reaches the optimum, which is at the end of this. Okay. So this is how you can couple OpenMDAO with OpenFOAM. So probably the best way, I mean, not the best way, but for sure it works and it's straightforward, is to declare an explicit component, something which is outside the script to make it more readable and easier to modify. And then you just write a wrapper around OpenFOAM. Okay, there is a library which I wanted to show you quickly, just to tell you about it, which is called foamlib. Oops. Okay. This is a very nice library, which it's a Python wrapper around OpenFOAM, and it looks very promising. I tried to use it a little bit, and it's very nice. So far, I wasn't able to use a probe yet, but maybe it's because of me. I just started playing around with this, but it's very nice. So I recommend you to give it a look. And okay, so I guess that also for this short tutorial, that's all. And yep, so see you in the next videos. Bye bye.